Lol, my camera overheated, but I hopefully won't do that again, but it might. So then I'll have to just wait let it cool down. And I definitely think situations in life, especially that are boring, you might say, or a situation where you just don't have a lot on, it can definitely give you that sort of like creative sort of outlet side of like you might choose to do something that you wouldn't. It gives you innovation sometimes when you have these like low vibrational periods. Feeling in despair can spark change. Feeling in, you know, like some of the very like in anger can cause you to, you know, change and sort of like block off things that aren't for you. Like that's why emotions always like obviously have a meaning. And I definitely think that in my sort of time to think and sort of like this like spiritual evolution I've had into this new astrological era, if you like, which I don't want to go into again, but we've moved from an astrological era of Pisces, which is where we look mainly to other people for our actions and validation. Now we look to ourselves in Aquarius. If you don't know, we're now in Aquarius in the astrological era. Astrological eras are 700 years, just to let you know. I think, are they 700 years? Or are they 700 years for each time? No, I might do another video on that. No, it says in the Bible don't look at astrology, so I'm not going to get too deep. So anyway, I don't know, I might do a video on it, you never know. So, I can't explain the whole thing now because I'll go too far off tangent anyway. Yeah, I think this idea of living in the future as well, sometimes people can get caught up in, and you can't always be in bliss. And I feel like when people try and live in the future and plan for the future, they sometimes are trying to find certainty in constant bliss. And I think life, I watched a video where she articulated quite well that life is ups and downs. You're always going to get ups and downs regardless if you have a mansion or a perfect family, a compliant family you care about that you're very close with or whatever. You're always going to have ups and downs. You're always going to have really blissful periods, and you're always going to have really shitty days. And I mean, not really shitty days, I'm not saying I have like a mood disorder, but you know what I mean, you're going to have bads and you're going to have ups and you're going to have, that's just part of life. I'm not trying to say that I'm like this, but I'm just saying you get ups and downs in life, the natural ups and downs that come with life and things that go on, because you know that bad things do happen inevitably. But I'm not saying that making wise decisions, for example saving for the future if you have the money, or you know investing in stuff, or you know looking out for a relationship, I'm not saying that planning isn't good, but I definitely think that, as I said before, I'm not going to reiterate, but not at the expense of parts of life that are also important though, like being a bit like crazy, or you know being impulsive, or being like whatever, you know. I don't want to go like, I was going to make a couple of notes on things like personality disorders, where people that have like slight borderline traits might like be impulsive and stuff, and that kind of helps me to maintain my impulsivity. But then I definitely think different people are less and more impulsive in different ways, and we've all got our like strengths in different ways. But I'm just trying to like kind of reiterate how there can be this framework in like society that sort of like might compress or repress certain areas of your humanity, which I'm just trying to bring to light in this video. Society push beliefs and concepts, yeah, again, so that's kind of what I was saying. I guess it just comes down to being like authentic, even in things like relationships, and realising that like even though a certain family member, or you have some sort of inner, I think it's okay to acknowledge inner shame about certain situations. If you have inner shame, it's probably a reason, but you don't have to have it all figured out now, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be around people that you're learning from, or you're learning about yourself through, because this is another thing. I've watched a lot of self-help videos recently on negative relationships and stuff, and I know for a fact that my relationships aren't perfect. I have a lot of good friends, and I know where boundaries are in certain relationships that are, you know, not perfect situationship type situations. And I think the thing is, that's a very complicated subject, which I think is for another video, but definitely have compassion with yourself. Realise that things take time to learn and change, and I'm definitely a massive believer of, unfortunately, and this might sound a bit bad, but I definitely think sometimes when you go through people in life that are similar to traits that you're brought up with, a lot of the time those childhood traumas can be repressed, and bringing them into an adult, then manifesting through means that you can't really control, and bringing that type of a person into your life allows you to end that cycle if it was a negative one in your childhood. So I honestly am a massive believer of like, sometimes you have to live through these things to grow from them. But obviously if you have that knowledge beforehand, sometimes you just can't know what you're going to learn from a person, and that's the honest truth. And I watched a video today where a woman was like, don't go through life with this sort of thinking of like, you have to learn from people that are negative and people are abusing you as bad. I would agree, but I would definitely say that, you know, abusing people is never good, but I would say that if you've gone through negative relationships, forgive yourself and realise that I believe that they were brought for a reason, like my negative relationships. I, looking back, would not have been the person I am without them now. And looking to the future, I think I may, you know, I'm going to come across more negative people that are going to teach me some more life lessons, and I wouldn't want to. Just as you get good and bad life experiences, you also get good and bad people in your life, and not to say you can't distance yourself from those people and cut them out once you've learned what you need to learn. That might seem cold, but it's just the truth. Like, we're very PC sometimes about how we handle different people, and I definitely think that comes down to things like narcissism and people trying to protect their own egos, and that's kind of manifested itself in society as we all need to get along and be a perfect human race and whatever. Not that anarchy would be a very good option, but what I mean is you can definitely stand up for yourself and what you believe in and your beliefs and everything, and you can grow from a situation and live a better life. So yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, speak to you soon. Bye.